Denny Blanco, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Randy. How you doing, sir? Yes, sir. I'm excited. We got a special guest in the building. You want to do the honors, introduce?
Got you. My man, Benjamin Cruz, no relation. My man from The Ringer. Find him on Twitter at Cruise Control, KONTROL. Benjamin Cruz, my man, how you doing?
Good, guys. Danny, Rain, thanks for having me on again. Rain, do we know that we're not related, by the way? Have we done this?
I'm just assuming.
All right. I think there should be an episode where we both we like live 23andMe it. Because if we discover that we're actually family, it would make for great podcasting.
That'd be kind of crazy, right?
Denny would be involved. He would help us do some research.
That's right.
Thanks for having me on, guys. It's been a minute.
No problem, man. Welcome to the Retro Room Podcast, All-Time Fives, Part 6. We got Miami on deck, Minnesota, and Milwaukee. You can find myself on Twitter and IG at Randy J. Cruz, Rendy, letter J, Cruz. My man, Denny Blanco, on both IG and Twitter at Sir Denny Blanco. Find the podcast on TikTok and IG, Retro Room Pod, also on SoundCloud, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So, Benjamin, like I tell everybody who comes on the Retro Room, relax, have a good time. It's all fun, nothing personal, nothing too crazy, but it's about your five from these three particular teams. It don't have to be the Mega All-Stars or the Hall of Famers. Anybody who's worn a jersey for that team, you can pick. You can pick by position. You can pick any random five, but it has to be five, you would say, that very near and dear to your heart, or just your favorite five players from that all-time roster. So you can go by people who you've seen live in person or just heard about them, but it is strictly up to you. So again, part 6, we're all the way up to Miami, Minnesota, and Milwaukee. So me and Denny have had random guests come on the last few months, and we are, I would say, at the halfway mark, a little almost more than the halfway mark. So a lot of very interesting rosters and answers, and that's just the way it goes. So without further ado, we are going to start with the Miami Heat. You're the guest of honor. You're up first. I would love to know what five you have for the Miami Heat.
So this one was fun to do, the Heat specifically, just because they've been a part of my basketball fandom for all of my life. So, but that being said, not a lot of Heat from the 90s. So here it is. I'm going from the top. Going from the top.
All right.
First up, we have Dwayne Tyrone Wade. I feel like that's got to be
the full government.
Oh yeah, no, I looked it up at Wikipedia, and everything on Wikipedia is true. So his middle name is definitely Tyrone. Then I went with the King, LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm 2 for 2 so far. I feel good about this.
Okay.
The rest is where I actually had 6, and I had to kick someone out. And
well,
it made me to do so.
I will help you. We also do an honorable mention. So
good. I have my honorable mention. Great.
Got it.
3, Shaquille O'Neal. I got Big Shaq in there. You know what I mean? That trade, I'll still remember where I was to this day when he got traded to the Heat from the Lakers. On my friend's couch. It was my junior year of high school. It hit the ticker. You know, this is pre-Twitter, so I was watching ESPN like a loser. Incredible, just an incredible trade. Number 4, Alonzo Mourning. I don't know if any list of the Miami Heat could be complete without this dude.
Right.
Like one of the more recent memories of him on the Miami Heat is when Vince Carter baptized him with one of the most disgusting in-game dunks I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
But we forgive him for that. You're gonna get dunked on if you're a shot blocker. You know what I mean? It happens. It's an occupational hazard. And number 5. This one was tough. This one was tough. I'm going with Udonis Haslem. I'm going with Udonis Haslem. My guy is still in the league. He's still on the team. It's been 20 years. This dude's been on the team since I was 15. So I also think if I left him off, I feel like he would find out and come and beat me up.
Well, he gonna come look for me.
Yeah,
he gonna look for me too.
Well, Just let it be known, Udonis, I put you on my list out of respect, because he's the torchbearer for Heat culture, right? They talk about this like it's a religion. If it were, Udonis Haslem is the Pope. So that's where I'm just giving respect to our guy Udonis, even though I still don't really understand what he does. He gets cardio in during practice?
He's the veteran leadership guy, the locker room guy,
basically an assistant coach who plays. Yeah, which is fine. And the honorable mention, I will throw it out.
There's quite a few you can pick here. Quite a few.
There were. This one actually was more painful than putting Udonis on there. But I'm going Chris Bosh. I'm going Chris Bosh, man. Just the Big Three era was special to watch. I think there's a lot of people out there who hated it. A lot of NBA fans who hated it. I was on the opposite end. I personally loved it, and maybe that's the wrestling fan in me, right? It felt like the NWO coming together. Yeah, that's why it prepped me for when KD came to the Warriors. It was just all you hear in your head when you think about these super teams is that NWO music, and this was kind of the beginning of it, right? So that is my 5 plus honorable mention. So I'm really curious to hear your guys though.
All right, Denny Blanco, you want to go Miami or me go Miami next?
I'll go.
So that means if you go, I'll start off Milwaukee next. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, and hey, if you feel compelled to have the same player, you can have the same player. FYI. So, and obviously you can explain why. So, Heat. We're gonna go Tim Hardaway.
Okay.
At my number one. The man was a problem in Golden State, but he was definitely a problem in Miami. So I'm gonna go Tim Hardaway at my one. I'm gonna go D Wade, the third best two guard ever to play in the NBA.
I'm with that.
Wow, I wonder who's 1 and 2.
Don't know. Third for the Heat.
Bron.
I wish the king. I wish LeBron kept his mask on the whole season.
Mask LeBron was fantastic.
I really enjoyed my goodness. Mask LeBron in the Heat was just such villainy. I loved it.
Yeah.
Still, it was delicious. It was delicious. It really was. When you think about the 90s and centers, you think about your Dikembes and your
Ewing, Robinson,
and your Ewings and your Robinsons, but these two guys, together, Shaq and Zoe. Zoe, he was known for getting dunked on, and he was also known for giving out the work. He would give out the work. He give you a 20 and 18 light, 4 blocks, a little light work, and then Shaq, of course, is my 5. And in my honorable mention, of course, Steve Smith.
Whoa, interesting.
Now, Steve Smith at the Heat. Steve Smith, Randy, remember the Steve Smith for the Heat? Steve Smith, remember that player?
Mm-hmm.
He was nasty. 6'8", handle, could pull from 3. Had the fake spin on you. Keep it moving and could pass. He was nasty.
You like Steve Smith on the Heat better than Steve Smith with the Hawks?
See, this is why you have this show to ask questions like this. I
think Smitty on Atlanta is better.
That's fair. See, I like that.
That's Dream Team 2. Steve Smith, right? Right. He was on that team. He's not as memorable as the rest of that team because the rest of that Dream Team 2 team was nice, but he was on there.
All right, Steve, let me take you off.
Wow.
No, you don't have to kick him out. I just had a question. It was a question.
Reggie said you keep him.
You can keep him. I mean, we're not telling you to take him off.
Let me see. Mario Chalmers.
If you put Mario Chalmers on this list, I'm leaving.
Yo, my man, you got Udonis Haslem on the roster.
Yeah, and he's still on the team. It's been 20 years. 20 years. Pull up this man's basketball reference page. You'll keep
Marius
scrolling.
Palmer's made more game-winning baskets than Udonis Haslem.
Because you know how many times he got yelled at by LeBron to make those game-winning baskets?
True, you're right.
My guy was like a toddler under pressure from his parents.
I'm keeping Steve Smith on there, man.
Keep him Smitty.
Yeah, I'm keeping him on there for time purposes.
And your honorable mention.
No, I think that. No, I mentioned. So no, it's Tim, D-Wade, Bron, Zoe, Shaq. That's 5, right? 3, 4, 5.
So Smitty did honorable mention.
Yeah, and then Steve Smith was my honorable mention. Yes, sir.
No Bosh, huh? No love for our guy CB.
Yeah, Bosh for me. He's Toronto Bosh for me. I mean, he took a step with Miami, but he wasn't like. I mean, he took a step back technically because he was like.
Well, he had to. Right?
Yeah, he had to. But Toronto Bosh, like we're not doing Toronto. So not Toronto, he's on there.
Of course.
Yeah, Toronto Bosh was cray.
So recap, Ben got LeBron, D-Wade, Shaq, Alonzo, Udonis.
That's right.
Honorable mention C. Bosh, Denny Blanco, Tim Hardaway, D-Wade, Bron, Zoe, and Shaq. Smitty off the bench. Honorable mention.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm going to go with the obvious, LeBron.
Okay.
D-Wade. Chris Bosh is in my initial 5.
Oh, okay. You got the big 3 in there.
Alonzo Mourning.
Okay.
And I thought about this, but I think I'm going to go with Jimmy Butler.
Whoa.
I'll go with Jimmy Butler.
Butler.
Benjamin, don't start. Don't start.
No, I just
Jimmy Butler.
Talk to us.
We talk about what's the best Jimmy we've seen. Chicago, Minnesota, Philly, or Miami is going to be Miami Heat. Man was damn near almost in an MVP conversation a few years ago. Went to multiple conference finals, NBA finals. Was doing everything he can. The bubble against LA by himself.
He was the meme. He became the meme.
He became the meme, and I think once he and Spoelstra got together, he was like, he's the ultimate complete Miami type player. And that's why I picked
the Heat culture guy.
He put numbers. He's an all-star, a Heat culture guy. He's the franchise of the roster right now.
Delicious coffee company, from what I hear.
I never had it. Have you?
No. I just
heard it expensive.
Oh yeah,
it should be.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
of course it is.
Yeah, it should be.
My honorable mention. I'm picking somebody who both of you do not have. I'm going Glenn Rice.
Okay,
I like that.
I like Glenn Rice. Now you could say Glenn Rice, Miami. Like could you mention Smitty, Atlanta or Miami? Glenn Rice, Miami, or Glenn Rice, Charlotte?
Yeah,
Glenn Rice, Charlotte was
a problem.
Was a bucket.
But Miami too. Because if it wasn't Glenn Rice, I'm picking Jamal Mashburn. But I picked Mashburn on the Mavericks anyway, so I'm not picking the same guy.
Mash would have been good.
Yeah,
I respect that, Randy. I respect that.
With these players, whenever I think about them, I'm thinking like, who's the first team I think about? And I guess you could kind of go backwards on that with Bron and Shaq. But I guess it's these ancillary guys, these borderline guys where I'm like, Glenn Rice, first team I think of off rip is the Hornets, right? Steve Smith, the Hawks. And that's not to say their Heat tenures were bad. Just, it's interesting. I'm actually with it. I'm actually with both those picks.
We also pick a coach. So it's up to you. Pat Riley or Spoelstra? Who you got?
I'm rocking with Coach Spo, man. He's there's not too many Filipinos in the NBA, and so I'm gonna rep Tito Eric for as long as we can. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's that's my guy.
Denny Blanco, Pat Riley, or Coach Spo?
Spoelstra. You ride up. I mean, you go step by step. You go through all the ranks through the organization. Nothing's giving to you. I see a video. This man was throwing chest passes to LeBron. 1,000. I'm like, what is good? And LeBron's catching. Wet.
And to know where Spoelstra, like how Spoelstra got started in Miami. I think he was like a video coordinator
story,
and now he's a fucking head coach
from the bottom.
One of the best coaches in the league. By the way. Period. End of sentence.
Very. All right. So
no love for Stan Van Gundy from anyone on the panel.
Nah, I like Stan, but no.
My guy got replaced right before the
playoffs. For Pat Riley.
Pat Riley he said, "Enough of this. I'm coming down from the office."
And you know what? I like real quick before I switch off Miami. Miami was, I kept hearing 90s earlier, and then Pat Riley when he went to Miami from New York, it was such a big thing, and it was like that was like the first. Not want to say trader type move, but it's like you going into your own conference and you come back and you just build that team into a championship contender and dynasty, and no matter what happens, players want to play for Pat Riley. Whether he's coaching, he's the GM, he's the president of basketball operations, Pat Riley always gets his guy. And ever since he left New York in 95, it was like he went up and then the Knicks went down. But I love,
as long as you know that.
Yeah.
Speaking from a place of pain, my God.
But yeah. I love when the Knicks beat them in the first round in 99 and 98 and all that stuff. So we got them back. We got them back.
All right. Yeah, you were all right.
We got them back. All right. Up next, Milwaukee. So I'll go first. Milwaukee.
Okay.
I think it's pretty easy, but I don't know. I got a little,
I think 3 were easy. I'm interested. Go ahead.
And it might be the first three I mentioned. Okay. I got Giannis. I got Ray Allen. And I got Michael Redd. That's the first 3?
That wasn't my first 3, but I do have those 3 on my
Okay.
On my list.
I got Big Dog.
Yeah.
And I still don't have Benjamin's third. I'm going to go with I saw the roster. I say, you know what? Can't pick him. Like, I know he's the second all-time scorer, but I'm not gonna pick Kareem because I did not see Kareem in his prime. That just not. I'm just not saying he's not worthy of that. I never saw him as a buck. Never did. So could it be honorable mention out of respect? Maybe, but I'm gonna go with. Stop it. I'm gonna go with Brandon Jennings for the Bucks.
Whoa. Yeah, are you part of the committee that got him a float at the parade? What is happening right now?
Bucks and 6.
Wow.
Now I'm not saying I'm picking Jennings over Kareem. I'm just saying that's the 5 that I'm going with. So Kareem might have to go to honorable mention respectfully.
Wow.
None of us saw Kareem on the Bucks live.
You don't got to justify your pick. You picked.
That doesn't mean it didn't happen, though.
Yeah, like listen, you picked. It is
all
what
right.
it is.
Giannis, Redd, Ray Allen, Big Dog, Jennings. So we'll rotate back. Denny Blanco, Bucks.
That's crazy. All right. Let me go through the obvious. At my 1, Sam I Am.
Okay.
Sam Cassell.
Oh, okay.
At my 1. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Sam Cassell was your basic point guard. Not too fancy, not too flashy, but he did whatever
he was flashy though.
He did whatever
I mean?
He did whatever he wanted. Yeah, he did whatever he wanted. And he let you know whenever he wanted. He was the early trash talker too. So
I know why Benjamin made the face when I said Jennings. Oh,
yeah.
55 on the Warriors, right?
Yeah, I mean that was everyone was like, oh, he might be better than Steph. Nah,
I ain't see all that. I'm just saying.
No, that was the narrative at that time. I remember that night when it happened. That was the night.
No, it was Steph. Remember, it was Steph and Monte Ellis. Remember?
Yeah. Which is ironically where Monte Ellis ended up getting traded.
Exactly. All right, Denny, you got Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell.
Sam I Am at the 1. At my 2 is Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Okay.
At my 3 is the angry dog, big dog, Glenn Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, he was a problem back in the day, and he was nasty, and he didn't care who was in front of him. He would give you 40, 10, and 5 in his sleep. So that's my 3. So my 4? I got a 4 and a 5. You know what?
Uh-oh.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add Michael Redd on there, and I'm gonna put Kareem on there. Is that 5? Look at your face. Randy's face. Look at Randy's face.
So you don't have Giannis in your 5?
Oh, hold on. Wait. You don't have Giannis in your 5?
No, that's why he said Sam Cassell, Ray Allen, Big Dog, Red, and Kareem. That's right. That's
Giannis 5. Kareem's my honorable.
Oh my God.
Guys, it's crazy, boy. Guys,
sure.
Nah, y'all good. Yeah, I'm just, you know what I mean? You alive? You alive? You got me. Look. He said, wait. Am I counting?
I'm like, what? No,
You
Giannis in 5?
You have to edit that one out.
No, leave it in there. Those your faces.
I will stop the whole show if you ain't got Giannis in the 5.
Oh, that's so funny.
All right, hold on. Wait. Double check. Sam Cassell,
Yeah.
Ray Allen, Big Dog, Michael Redd, and Giannis, and Kareem as an honorable mention.
Yeah, Kareem's my honorable.
All right, boom.
Yeah.
Benjamin, let's do it. Bucks.
All right. So we were all 3 of us are kind of aligned on these. There's some movement. But here we go. I've got Giannis. We got the Greek Freak. I have Kareem. I mean, look, I didn't see this dude play on the Bucks either, but if you look at it historically, this dude was a freaking monster on the Bucks, and there's a reason why the Lakers went out and got him. Right? I know he's associated with the Lakers, and he's Cat. He's all this stuff. The Bucks were irrelevant after him, right? And he was just one of those players. So Kareem, Giannis. I also have Ray Allen. That was one of my favorite series to watch. That 2001 Eastern Conference Finals against AI and the Sixers. That shit went to 7. Yeah, Darvin Ham was on that team. Current coach of the Los Angeles Lakers was on that team as a role player. It's fun to watch. I also have Michael Redd. I mean, he was early on. I mean, now second rounders are starting to make it, right? We're just used to it. Like, oh, this second rounder is good. Jokic is freaking one of the best players, if not the best player in the NBA. Second rounder, Draymond, all these. The list goes on and on. Michael Redd was early. You're like, oh, second rounder, interesting. And then I also have Big Dog. I have Glenn Robinson. Out of respect for that 0-1 team. My honorable mention. I'm going off the board. You guys didn't have my guy, and the reason why he was an honorable mention for me was because he didn't play for the Bucks that long. I got Oscar Robertson, helped him win the 71 title. You know, so he was a little beyond triple double. Oscar Robertson. He was a little closer to. I don't really like current NBA players, Oscar Robertson, but he still helped him win the 71 title. And I'm paying homage, man. I didn't see it.
No, I respect it.
Again, looking at the list, you kind of got to give it to these guys.
So you got Giannis, Kareem, Ray Allen, Michael Redd, Big Dog, and the Big O as an honorable mention.
That's right.
I do want to piggyback what you mentioned about the 0-1 Bucks. I think obviously that was the closest Milwaukee got to the finals until Giannis got there, and they eventually won. People forget Ray Allen was not just a jump shooter. Like, this dude was like, you sleep on him,
he's yamming on people.
He's gonna rack it on you and attack the basket.
Disgusting.
And like I always love Milwaukee Ray Allen. I love Seattle Sonic Ray Allen.
Yep.
And I think those for me are like his top 2 versions of Ray Allen. I know he went to Boston and Miami and all that, but I think Seattle and Milwaukee are up top. That Bucks team was fun. Tim Thomas was on that roster. Ray, obviously. Big Dog. Vin Baker was another Buck that could have been
Vin Baker.
That could have been taken on the roster. But that 0-1 series with Philly, man, like Milwaukee had him.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, You want Lakers or AI or Lakers and the Bucks? I'm like, all right, I'm good with LA and AI, but that was a fun Bucks team back in 01.
An incredible team. And I mean, AI was just, I think he was destined to reach the finals that year, right? He's coming off that incredible year. He's the most popular player in the league at that time. So he was going to get there. He gave us the iconic step over, a couple games later. So it was just destiny. But the Bucks, that Bucks team would have been super fun to watch against that Lakers team.
Mm. All right. What coaches are we picking for the Bucks here, huh? What coach you got, Denny Blanco, from the Milwaukee Bucks? Give me some names.
But man, listen, coach for the Bucks got me, bro.
All right, George Karl, Mike Budenholzer.
Give me, go Coach Bud, man. Give me Coach Bud. Give me Coach Bud. He's for me, he's a staple at this point, the most consistent. So give me Coach Bud.
You got J Kidd.
Jason Kidd. Spilling drinks everywhere.
That's right. Who you got, Ben? Who's your coach?
I mean, I got Bud. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to pick Don Nelson just because that's when he started kind of doing the small ball stuff, trying to change the NBA. But I mean, Bud, just from like his decision making with substitution patterns sometimes is very, very questionable. Yeah. But overall, I'm looking at this list right now. It's not a high bar. You know what I mean? Like, but Larry Drew, we got some Larry Drew in there. We got some Jim Boylan.
Oh,
we have some Scott Skiles. Can I interest you in some Scott Skiles?
Can I introduce you some Scott Skiles? Yes.
All right. Hi, Scott. Scott, bye.
Yeah. They went back-to-back Terry coaches. They went Terry Porter and Terry Stotts. So I'm going with Bud. I'm going with Coach Bud.
All right. I think Coach Bud is across the board. Denny Blanco, you're up. You are starting off the final piece of the puzzle. Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh, man. Timberwolves, Minnesota. Well, you're gonna have to help me out here, Randy. All right.
Okay.
Help me out. All right. Check this out. So I got Stephon Marbury.
Wow, that's okay.
All right.
At my one for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Coming out the gates hot. I like it.
Stephon Marbury in the Minnesota Timberwolves was not. You didn't want to see him in open court. You just put your knees on the side. Just sit down. Don't even hurt your knees or your ankles. You didn't want to see Steph coming down full speed at the one. I have KG for me. The Kevin Garnett in Minnesota was nasty, was filthy, was disrespectful, would dunk on you, go through you, go around you. Made Tim Duncan his baby. I loved him. Kevin Love.
Yep.
Minnesota Timberwolves Kevin Love was nasty. Shoot the three, but then he was posting more than. He'd be like, he'd get right down to the box. Give it to me. And then
inhaling rebounds. Inhaling them.
Now, mind you, Kevin Love's not that tall, though.
No. Or is he athletic? Not athletic.
Or athletic. He's just wide.
Positionable. Yeah.
Just like Charles Barkley was back in his day. He was just wide, and he was in Minnesota. He was doing work. So
that's getting 25 and 15 a night.
25-15. Light.
Nasty.
Kevin Love. Light, right? So that's three right there.
All
then
right.
I'm like,
You're stuck?
I'm stuck between a couple of players. I was going to pick up. See, Sam Cassell played on the Timberwolves.
Correct.
But I already put him on my Bucks squad. So I'm not picking him up again.
All right.
So you guys remember, I forget his name, and I'm trying to pull him up now. He was a guard, and I can't remember his stinking name.
A guard.
Terrell Brandon.
No, it wasn't him. But you know what? It's Scott Brooks. No, I'm not picking Scott Brooks. Chauncey Billups. See, can't pick Chauncey Billups. He's played Detroit Chauncey. See, look at these players, man. All time for Minnesota. That's why I said you may not. Lou Robinson.
Oh,
Lou Amundsen.
I know you're not picking Amundsen. I know you're not doing that.
I almost made him choke. Almost.
I rather
when you get the guest to choke, that's when you know you're doing work on their soda or their water.
I'd rather you pick Tom Gugliotta.
I was thinking about Tom Googs. I really was thinking about Tom. I was looking at Tom and I was looking at Wally, and I was like, nah, not for me. I don't even, you know what I mean? Either. No, not all time. Not for me.
I'd rather you pick them than fucking Amundsen.
No. All right, so let me be serious.
Who we got?
Sick.
Yep, time to edit.
He froze.
Damn it.
It's all good.
Hold on. Fucking Wi-Fi. This is what I gotta do, making my job harder in the editing process, bro.
Yeah, it's gotta write it down.
Yep. 36-minute mark. Oh. At least I can see who's winning the game. Oh, Knicks up by 14. With 5 minutes. 5 minutes to go.
Oh, there it is. Oh,
there you go.
There you go. See, you said Lou Amundsen. You fucking shut your shit down.
The Timberwolves heard you.
All right.
So, you know what?
3-1.
Yeah. So you already got Steph, KG, Kevin Love. And we're gonna have my last three, obviously. I'll put Tom Gugliotta on there. I'll put Wally on there. That's 3-4. Terrell Brandon.
And T. Brandon. Okay. Steph, KG, Love, Tom Googs, Zerbiak, and T. Brandon as the honorable mention for Minnesota for Denny Blanco. Benjamin, let me see if you have two other guys not named Googs or Zerbiak on your roster.
All right, here's who I got. So I got KG. That's a must. I feel like he's an all-timer. I also have Kevin Love. Just an incredible, super fun to watch back then. I do have Cat. I have Karl Anthony Towns on there. I have Sam Cassell on there. I have Minnesota Timberwolves Sam Cassell because that dude was nice. Made an all-star team with this team. Number 5. This may be premature. I don't care. Ant-Man, welcome. You're on my top 5 T-Wolves of all time. Just got named an all-star last week in an Adam Sandler movie. Come on, what are we doing? We're not even.
That's right.
This is what we're doing. So Anthony Edwards makes my starting 5. Also thinks he rounds it out. That's a lot of athleticism at the wing there. And then honorable mention, giving it to Tyrese Halliburton's number 1 fan, Wally Zerbiak. When you think about the Timberwolves, you can't help but think about Wally Zerbiak. Whether you want to or not, he made an all-star team. This dude made an all-star team with the friggin' Timberwolves. Good shooter, but that's my 5 plus 1.
Out of curiosity, Benjamin, no Marbury.
I don't. Why? He only played 19 games with them. I couldn't do it.
Say again.
Marbury?
Yeah, wasn't he only? Didn't he not?
Was he like there 3 years?
Not to my knowledge. I think he played.
Oh no, you're right. He was there. He got drafted there, and then he got. So no, I'm tripping. So I have this story in my head where KG saying like, "Oh, I thought we were gonna build something with Steph," and then he ended up wanting to leave.
Yeah, he left after like 3 years.
Yeah. So that's why. So it was because KG was so hurt when he was telling the story, right? Because he was like, "Oh, I thought it was with me and Steph. We're gonna build this special thing in Minnesota, blah 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 blah." And then all of a sudden, this dude just wanted out, and it hurt KG so much it hurt me. You know what I mean? It just came through the screen when I was watching him. I think he was telling the story on All the Smoke. With Stack and Matt Barnes, and I don't know, man. I mean, it was a shorter run, and I just kind of gave it to guys who were there just a smidge longer.
All right. So, KG, Love, Cat, Sam Cassell, Ant-Man, and honorable mention Wally Zerbiak for Benjamin. So, I'm the last one up. Minnesota. This is who I got. I think it's pretty academic. Kevin Garnett, Kevin Love, Big Cat, Stephon Marbury.
Oh, you got him too. Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
And
And I'm going with twice. I think the two-time slam dunk champion, Zach LaVine.
Oh, interesting.
Zach, you know what? Yeah, this Chicago Zach LaVine. That's why I love the multiverse, because the multiverse gives you different players at different times. Zach LaVine in Timberwolves was bouncy.
He was a lot more entertaining. I think he's a better player now than he was with them, but much more entertaining.
Much more entertaining. I wish he would be consistent. I mean, he's consistent, but he's up and down for me. But yeah, definitely more entertaining in Minnesota.
And I'll go with Ant-Man as the honorable mention. He has a long way to go, but there's nobody really else in Minnesota I want to pick. I like when Sprewell was there. I know Benjamin picked Sam Cassell during that 2004 conference finals run.
Yep.
Minnesota, not a lot of other people out there. I know Jimmy Butler was there for a hot second, and
too short of a run.
But
I think he shit on all his teammates at that time too.
And even to this day, every time I mention Zach LaVine in Minnesota, Denny always says, well, he robbed Aaron Gordon of a dunk contest. I'm like, no, we did not. It just, that's how shit works. That's how it happens. And he won. So Zach is what? I two-time, right? Two-time champ?
Did he go back to
or
back?
Was it one time? Probably back-to-back.
He went back-to-back.
That's right.
Didn't he beat who did he beat in the finals? He beat Aaron Gordon one year. Was it DeRozan the year before?
I don't recall. I'm sure we can look it up at a different time for sure.
Last part, a coach for Minnesota.
Flip Saunders.
Flip.
Rest in peace, Flip Saunders.
Yeah, rest in
peace.
Flip
across the board. So yeah, Benjamin, that's pretty much it. So that's how we do the Retro Room, Part 6, Miami, Milwaukee, Minnesota. A lot of very interesting answers. But what I love is that none of us have the same rosters for any team, as far as I know.
That's right. We got close.
There's
some closeness.
We always got to have one or two different people. Like my man Denny, he's picking Gugliotta out of nowhere, and Zerbiak and Almondson is like, but that's the whole point, because you forget how many players have played in that franchise. You don't want to forget someone from the 80s and 90s and 2000s, or even now. You want to kind of like represent every different era, but sometimes it goes like that and sometimes it doesn't. But I like what we got today. I do.
We put together some solid teams. Again, the Timberwolves one, I think I told you guys this before we started recording. That was the hardest one for me, because I was
I'm just sitting down. I'm looking. I'm like, well, it's three. There's three players. Other than that, rest in peace, Malik Sealy.
Mm-hmm.
That's Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, definitely Minnesota. Rest in peace, Malik Sealy. So yeah, honorable mention for sure, Minnesota.
So Danny, before we wrap up, are you still keeping Googs and Zerbiak, or you want to put Cat or Ant-Man or Zach LaVine?
I'm fine with. I mean, you could put Cat. Yeah, you could definitely put Cat and take Tom Gugliotta off for sure.
Don't disrespect Googs like that.
Yeah, no disrespect, Googs.
Or you want to put Christian Laettner? Like, what we doing?
The Atlanta Hawks Christian Laettner was monstrous.
Dude, Christian Laettner is the peak.
He was off for being peak. Yeah, he made an All-Star at Atlanta. Don't get it twisted with Christian Laettner. So. But yeah, we're gonna put Cat up there, and then we're gonna put Ant-Man up there. Yeah, Ant-Man is stamped. So he's going far if he can keep stay healthy and keep just focused on ball.
Bet. So you can find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Also find us on social media. My man Benjamin Cruz on Twitter at Cruise Control, KONTROL. Denny Blanco on IG and Twitter at Sir Denny Blanco. Myself, Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, letter J, CRUZ on both IG and Twitter. Also on TikTok and IG, Retro Room Pod. Benjamin Cruz from The Ringer. Always appreciate it, my man. And God bless. And I know we'll catch up soon.
Thanks for having me on again, guys. This was awesome.
All right, man.
Retro Room, you heard?
Yes, sir. We out.